hand tracking. It's arguably one of the most exciting experimental features that the Oculus Quest has. This feature allows you to use the external tracking cameras of the Quest to track your hands and individual fingers. So you can use your hands to navigate menus, engage with experiences, and even play games. Now at this point, hand tracking still has a long way to go, can be very laggy, and sometimes it doesn't track certain movements. So it's certainly not ideal, but I still find it to be a mind-blowing experience that every Quest owner needs to have at some point. It just feels really futuristic to use your hands as the actual controllers, and it brings another level of immersion to your experience. And so in this video, I've put together a list of my top hand tracking experiences you can currently have on the Quest. Now this list starts with free hand tracking experiences and works its way up to paid experiences. Now before we get into the list, to activate hand tracking on your Quest, you go into settings, device, and you can switch it on in that menu there. But first, a message from this video's sponsor, CDKoffers. I recently came across this website, and what they do is they offer software and game keys for great prices. I checked it out myself. Take a look at this. Space Hulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition. It's about $30 on Steam, but on CD keys you get it for half price, $15. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, about $40 on Steam, but you can pick up the Steam key for Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire for just under $25 on the CDKoffers website. And if you think that's cheap, you can get an extra 20% off by using my special discount code VIEW20. And it's more than just Steam keys, they also sell keys for other platforms like Origin, Xbox and Uplay. They also sell keys for software as well. I picked myself up a Microsoft Windows 10 Pro CD key, and this is what I did to get one. It's all very straightforward. I went down to how to activate first, which gives you instructions on how to activate your Windows 10 key along with the things you need, such as the correct edition of Windows 10. Once I was happy with that, I selected the correct currency, I added the product to my cart, quickly made an account. It took less than a minute. Then I proceeded to check out with the Windows 10 key in my basket, added my VIEW20 promo code to get an extra 20% off the price, selected my payment method and paid, and it should tell you if your order has successfully gone through. Then to get the key, it was all very straightforward. I just clicked on view key/codes. I went down to get the key, which gave me my Windows activation key. I put it into my Windows operating system, clicked activate, and happy days. And the first experience on my list is free and something I can recommend for any newcomers to the Quest and hand tracking. Now it's important to be aware there are two versions of these first steps experiences. One of the versions doesn't have hand tracking and the other one does. Now to get the one that has hand tracking, what you'll need to do is you go into the Oculus store, you go into the search function and type in first steps with hand tracking. Then you'll see a little App Lab heading. Just go into that and you can click on the experience and download it directly to your headset from App Lab. So first steps isn't the best hand tracking experience I've had, but it certainly is a nice introduction to hand tracking, as it provides you with a little sandbox experience that will get you acquainted with basic hand movements such as pulling, grabbing, pushing, and some more advanced fun stuff like firing guns. Next on my list is another free experience that you can get from App Lab. You find it in exactly the same way you find the first steps experience, by going into the store, going into the search function and typing in Tiny Castles. Tiny Castles is another experience developed by Oculus, but unlike first steps, it will give you more of a fuller gameplay experience. But having said that, it's still very short, will only last you about an hour. So in this game you play as a god, and the objective is very simple. You need to free your believers from the evil god and his minions, and you do this by solving simple puzzles and destroying enemies with your godlike powers. So this one is an action puzzle game. It's a lot of fun but not very challenging, and that's fine because it's not meant to be. This game was just built to identify the types of game mechanics that could work well with hand tracking. And it does this very well. There are a lot of hand tracking experiences to be had here, from basic movements like activating pressure pads or turning cranks, to shooting lightning or fire out of your hands, or controlling an avatar using arcade-like controls. This is a game I enjoyed while it lasted, but at the same time got to experience hand tracking experiences that I had never had before. Next on my list of hand tracking games and experiences is Elixir. Unlike the previous two games, this one is not on App Lab, you can get it from the Oculus Quest store. And I chose this game because much like Tiny Castles, it will give you a free hand tracking gameplay experience. Now in this game you play as a sorcerer's apprentice and have to experiment with potions and maintaining experimental contraptions within an alchemy lab. Now it might take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, so it's very short, just like a tech demo really, but if anything, you'll get to experience some hand tracking interactions that Tiny Castles doesn't offer. For example, being able to change your hands into something else like Wolverine claws, or my personal favourite is the octopus tentacles. It can't be understated how trippy it feels to see your fingers as tentacles flopping around on screen. Now if you want to invest your time into learning how to sideload from SideQuest onto your Oculus Quest, then I recommend checking out Hand Physics Lab. Now if you're not sure what SideQuest is, I have a video on sideloading and SideQuest in the description below, or you can just search SideQuest and sideloading on YouTube. There's a tons of guides out there. Now if you can be bothered sideloading, then I think it's well worth it, as there is a whole category of hand tracking games on SideQuest, but I chose this one in particular as I think it's one of the best. It's a free experimental physics sandbox, and the amount of things you can do is pretty impressive. You can use toy guns, draw, finger paint, mess around with tools like hammers and axes, play with chemicals, and even play without gravity or clone yourself. Seriously, it's a lot of fun and a great way to experience some of the unique ways hand tracking can be used. Now we get on to the paid hand tracking experiences, and starting with one of the cheapest, The Line costs about $5 and this is a short interactive love story that will last you about 20 minutes. I chose this one as the story is great, it's won various awards and has about 5 stars out of almost 200 ratings on the store. The hand tracking also works really well here. Doesn't do anything particularly mind-blowing. With the hand tracking feature, you'll just be poking, prodding and grabbing things really, nothing out of the ordinary. But I found the hand tracking experience is implemented very well and does add fantastically to the immersion of this great interactive story. It's also the first time on this list we get to see a hand tracking experience in a movie/narrative game, and it shows us that hand tracking can also work really well with more casual VR experiences too. Now if you're looking for a more action orientated paid hand tracking experience, our next title, Waltz of the Wizard Extended Edition, might just give you what you are after. Now Waltz of the Wizard costs about $10 and lets you experience magical powers, create potions and spells, solve riddles, battle guardians in a cool maze-like game, and a lot of other things to explore and all sorts of fun little mini games to play. This one is a little bit longer than some of the other experiences on here. It might last you around 2 hours to complete everything, though many people do play it for longer, and there is an update on its way. It's called the Natural Magic update that you're seeing here, which should be coming out in the first half of this year. This update should extend the game out a little bit more. Now the hand tracking experience takes a bit of practice, particularly with some of the finger movements, but it does offer a great experience for the price, and definitely the longest experience we've covered on this list so far. Now this next game on my list, The Curious Tale of Stolen Pets, will set you back about $15. It can be described as a casual puzzle game. You're presented with this cute little miniature world where you need to help your grandfather solve the mystery of the stolen pets. Now you do this by exploring the world and solving some pretty simple puzzles. It'll probably last you about an hour, and it is fun while it lasts. And while the hand tracking on this one doesn't work the best, it's still a fun little experience, and that's why I've included it on this list. Finally, our last and most expensive hand tracking game on the list is Vacation Simulator. This will cost you about $30. Now this is a fantastic non-linear experience that will give you hours of gameplay. I would say at least around 4 hours for the main story, but there's still tons of extras to get stuck into if you're a completionist. You have different areas consisting of environments like snowy mountains, forests and beaches that you'll just spend hours exploring. There are bots scattered around that will give you main quests and side quests to complete, but it's still a very free roaming experience in that it pretty much leaves you to your own devices. The game is great for young and old alike, VR newbies and VR veterans. It offers an immersive world that is enhanced by the hand tracking feature And while hand tracking still suffers from the same issues as all the other hand tracking experiences on the Quest, and it's by no means perfect, it's still great to be able to play a lengthy, quality game that will last you hours just using the hand tracking feature. So that's it for this video. I'd love to hear what you think of my list. Are there any hand tracking experiences you'd add to this list, and why? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. If you have liked the video, do remember to hit that like button, and if you think I've deserved it, remember to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to be kept up to date with all the latest content that's coming out of this channel. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.